Oya, kumusta? Joe here, a world builder and OC artist, and it's time to continue the topics to consider when starting a fictional world. Previously, we tackled the aspects of a world structure, scale, and magic. Now let us go to the more abstract aspects of a world. Number 4. Theme of a world. Don't you just love fictional stories that have a moral or a thesis to offer to you and nails its explanation or even convinces you through their characters or fictional culture? Don't you want your world to send a message? Theme of your world is as important as having a compass at sea. It is the core philosophy of your world, its grand rule, and will influence, but not control, the decisions you make. This part, however, is optional, especially for smaller worlds. If the idea of adding a message to your world sounds like a chore, then don't. But I do hope to convince you on adding one, as it can be really helpful in the long run. An easy way to think about a world's theme is the mission and vision thingy that companies or schools use. What is the mission of your world? Is it only for your entertainment, which is totally fine by the way? Is it for your stories, for your tabletop nights, or a place where your fictional characters can live? These should contribute to how you structure your world. If it's for a tabletop night, maybe you can focus on the theme of unity or sportsmanship. If it's for a YA story, maybe about facing adversity or trusting in oneself. Then ask, what emotional strings does your world tug first to you, the creator? Then if you're sharing this beautiful creation to others, what do you want your audience to feel? What moral do you want them to take back with them as they return to the normal world? Is it hope, love, or darker themes like suffering and despair? Again, your world can stand on its own without a proper theme. But if you do not give your world its message, the message will be lost from the readers. 5. Genre of the world. Following the mission and vision analogy, after stating your world's mission, you can use that as basis for the vision of your world. Vision is what you wish your world to become, and that can be helped by setting a genre to your world. Genre is not a rigid rule for you to follow, but a way to look for other fictional worlds in the same genre and take inspiration from them. If you want to build a space fantasy universe, it would not hurt to check out worlds like Star Trek or Mass Effect to take inspiration or just see how they tackled their world's problems like faster than light travel. You should take existing worlds as case studies to help you structure out your world, and genre will guide you to what you're looking for. Though do know that it is healthy to take inspiration from worlds outside your genre. 6. Language. Like magic, language is something optional in a fictional universe. If it's English, no need to worry too much about how that language developed unless you want that to be a key point in your world. Also, you don't have to create a fictional language from scratch if you don't really want to. A good alternative to creating an entirely new language is to just create a few new worlds. Important races, weapons, or terms in a magic system can all have made-up names like Jabberwocky and the Vaporeal Sword in Alice in Wonderland. This won't give you the same amount of wonder that a whole new fictional language would, but it can give the minimal effect for the smallest amount of effort. In the world that I'm building, there is an ancient language known as Dehos, which is far from a complete conlang or fictional language. But I have created a number of terms from that language, and the fact that the names of modern races or terms that have their origins from these words create an illusion that the language Dehos was used in ancient times. Kinda like how science still borrows Latin terms, and doing so keeps Latin relevant and remembered, even if it's considered a dead language. Bonus points if you base all your new words and terms from a real life language, dead or existing, for each of your culture or races. By doing so, your words will sound close to each other like they are actually a proper language. When I reviewed one of my friends' worlds, one of the things that struck out to me the most is that all of their fictional terms have the same sound or feel to them, and not only gave the illusion of an established conlang, but it was beautiful. It does not have to all sound the same, but she did so, and doing so made all the difference. 7 and final would be design direction. Design direction is the combination of all the other aspects of a fictional world, and it is about the decisions you make for each aspect and how they fit with each other. It's a bit hard to explain, so here's an example of a world whose aspects all fit together. A world with an Eastern culture theme with the idea of family and tradition. The setting is based on historical China. The language and terms are from the Chinese language. Oh, and also the magic system is, you've guessed it, has resemblance to Qi and Kung Fu. For some people, this world is a bit cliché or stereotypical. For others, it's not much of a problem. Kung Fu Panda is basically a world close to this, but Kung Fu Panda is an amazing world. What I'm trying to say here is that there must be a balance of how related or how far off the aspects of your world are. And that balance must be up to your design direction. Too related and you risk being boring and unoriginal. Too unrelated or off and it can become a challenge to string together and avoid making it feel chaotic or random. A rule of thumb that I use is to go for unrelated more than related. Sure, it will become a challenge, but often when you make connections to topics not normally connected to each other, they result to interesting discoveries. Creating unrelated design choices forces you to be creative and clever with your world. I suggest you do these on the important parts of your world and just avoid doing these on areas of your world that are not as important or you are not too interested in. What I just want to say with this part is just pay attention to the balance of patterns and chaos in the creation of your world. And so that's all the important aspects of a fictional world. Overall, this is a guide, not a law. A tool to help you identify your world just like a character. When you really know a character, you know what their actions are at any given moment, at any given situation. You must do the same for your world. So, more or less, this is about creating a character sheet and getting to know your world. Well, that is all I have for today. If this has been helpful, leave a like, comment, or share it with someone who might need this. If you want to see more, the red subscribe button is down below. This is Joe Bayani, hoping you get your world created. Catch you at the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.